Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So Big Finish are releasing their second in their new First Doctor range. The fourth First Doctor. It's very confusing, right? Fourth First Doctor is Stephen Noonan. That's coming out in February. I'm recording this on January the 30th. So if I post this in February, it's this month. This month. If I post it in January, it's next month. It's next month, so you just, fill in where do your own. Do you remember DVD branching, right? Where you could it will go in, you would see, it would incorporate in the deleted scenes or something. Don't do that anymore, right? Never really worked very well. So do that, basically do that. So why am I making this video? I'm making this video because I think it's a range that definitely deserves your attention. I think it's a range that definitely deserves your attention because they work hard, right? They really worked hard for your attention. So listen, if you're somebody who likes the First Doctor, if that's an era that works for you, I love all the Doctors, up until the recent one. Well, not the recent one, the one before that. If you love the First Doctor and you're in the market to buy an audio, I would really recommend you give this a look in for several reasons. Right, the first reason is I found Stephen Noonan to have a extremely good attitude to his fans, to his audience. I think he has a good knowledge of Doctor Who. Firstly, they're good, right? Again, I enjoyed them. That's the first reason. I should have led with that. Second reason is I think Stephen Noonan is just been fantastic with his audience, where a lot of people are not, right? A lot of people just assume I'm like a terrible racist because I don't know, right? I've never, ever said anything racist, but I never even thought anything racist in my life. I'm not really a bigot in any way. But, it's easy because Twitter, right? Yeah, Twitter, you get called all these terrible things, and they're just not true. None of them are true. But, we do see, up until very recently, if somebody is unmentionable to the Twitterati, then the actors in things and people making things will often just steer clear of you because they don't want to be lambasted by them. That kind of ended, I think, about a week ago. Really, it was a week ago when Big Finish were attacked by these weirdo Twitterati because they were releasing just a really good audio. If you haven't got it, I really recommend it. It's called Terror of the Master. It's written by Trevor Baxendale, who's just an excellent writer. I think he's very, very good. It's so much better than the other books on tape. I'm listening to the Kate Orman Second Doctor book on tape, and it's too long. I haven't got past the first episode. I finished the first second. I'm going to start the second one. I'm actually washing my floors today, so it'll make me stop long enough to actually listen to a bit of it. So I'm going to listen to the second episode. Well, they're too long. This is 3 discs long. It's like $10. It's fantastic. Anyway, Trevor Baxendale once said that Gareth Roberts wasn't, evil incarnate, and that was it, right? That was it. He's called a transphobe, and everybody's a transphobe nowadays. It's very strange, but that seemed to be the straw that broke the camel's back with that. But anyway, up until then, Stephen Noonan had a very, very, very good. I think he went to a lot of effort to connect with the audience. I think that just deserves to be rewarded. I do. That is good. And in the latest set, Nick Briggs is directing, and I think he's writing one, maybe. I don't know, but if Nick Briggs is involved in a set of pretty much, you can be guaranteed it's going to be good. I mean, sometimes they're not. Sometimes, everyone has an off day, but like 9 times out of 10, I really, I think they knock it out the park. So, so that's why I'm doing this feature on Stephen Noonan. It was in Doctor Who magazine as well. I had the content. Why wouldn't I? But it's a range that I would really, really, again, very much recommend you guys just, if you're gonna buy an audio, this is one you want to look at, right? And you like the First Doctor, it's probably going to be pretty good, and their attitude is excellent. I think Big Finish, generally speaking, even though there was that last 5 years, I think we came out in the last year or so, their output wasn't the best, right? Their output was a bit weak, like everybody's output in in the current age. Actually, Rusty Davis gave a really interesting explanation about why he thinks that happened, which I thought, again, another watershed moment was he basically said, look, people feel that they're invisible in media, right? Then until then they're not being seen, so they push themselves into media to get writing jobs, and they get given writing jobs because they're of this elevated status, they're of this protected status, and they just don't like TV much, right? They're not very good at writing TV, and the scripts are normally rubbish, right? I think that happened with comic books. I think that happened with Big Finish. It's been around the 2018, 2019, it was a really not great era. But if you look at the totality of their output and what they're doing nowadays, it's a company so worth supporting. In my opinion, if you like Doctor Who, right? If you like a bit of Doctor Who, it's a company so worth supporting. And I think Doctor Who Audio is here to stay. If they're not making it, somebody's going to. Why? Because there's a viable business doing it. So that's really, the thing that drives everything. Fine, before we get into this video, this was from my live stream last night. I'm recording this on Monday, January 30th. So the live stream was January 29th. Well, that's kind of that's how math works. That's how time, space, and days work, right? Today's the 30th. That's the 29th. Don't know when I'm putting this out. Don't know when this is going out, but I guess you do because you're watching it. Like, share, subscribe, comment. What else is there? Sign up to my Substack. It's in the video notes. In the video notes, also you got my Twitter, my Instagram. Just follow me everywhere, mate. Substack's my email newsletter. And I've got a ton of extra stuff in it, especially for audio files out there. All the old Big Finish promotional stuff and reviews. I like all that stuff, and it's free. So go ahead, sign up for that. Thank you very much. Thank you for subscribing. It's very nice of you. I was trying to think of something else. I really couldn't come up with anything to say. No, that is very nice of you. Thank you very much for subscribing. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. And now let me hand over to me from last night. Stephen Noonan, I think, looks good as the first Doctor. Lauren Cornelius just looks good. Please, just more Lauren Cornelius. That means I think we can have some Stephen Noonan as well. Let's see what he has to say. Stephen Noonan, 5 minutes with the latest actor to play the first Doctor. Listen, I feel he's like a very legitimate first Doctor. I feel like Big Finish are licensed productions. This are full cast dramas. This is... an official Doctor, right? I think the job he does is pretty darn good as well. Hello, Stephen. How did it feel as both an experienced actor and Doctor Who fan to be offered the role by Big Finish? It's a strange cognitive dissonance of how fantastic it is to be offered the part, combined with the anxiety and trepidation. I have to tell you. So I like that first set. I've got the second set on pre-order. I can't work out if it's because I like Stephen Noonan, and I like Stephen Noonan because he's been very decent, right? He's just been a lot of people at Big Finish will treat me like I have leprosy, right? Also when I used Don Martin, and I thought it was a Don Martin, in a thumbnail one time, he just assumed I was taking the piss out of them because he's black, because he just assumed I'm like this deeply racist, immoral person because he believes that bull crap, right? So I appreciate, being given the benefit of the doubt. I appreciate actually a lot. And I think me being given the benefit of the doubt, if you're a listener to this channel, you're probably being given the benefit of the doubt as well. And I just feel that basic decency is if you're in the market to buy audio drama, it's worth giving him a punt. It really is. I really liked his first set. It was he's a very different first Doctor to David Bradley. I think he's a bit more accurate. I do like the fluffs. He puts a few Billy fluffs in. And he's got a really nice first Doctor companion relationship with Lauren Cornelius, again, who, even though it's audio, is very easy on the eye. And I think, I think that comes through the audio, that I'm turned on by her somehow. I don't know how. This is a factor in making me want to buy something. I don't know what to tell you, mate. It seems like a reasonable factor to me. I think why has there always been attractive people in TV shows and ads to make troglodytes like me want to buy them? Right? I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Where are we up to? Yeah, you attempted to do justice to the very first Doctor, William Hartnell. I feel his performance is really with respect, right? He's the most loved, cherished protector icon in Doctor Who universe. I still like to see him with Bernie Summerfield. Rightly so, quite rightly, because he invented the part. But you're not just following Hartnell. You're following Richard Underhill and David Bradley, esteemed actors both. Well, one of them was. One of them is, I should say. So I had tremendous anxiety about stepping into those very large shoes. And I don't think it's really... I'm glad they got another set, but they've had some real pushback. A big finish, as I understand it. How did you approach your interpretation of the first Doctor? The one thing to capture was the way he said a particular line. That was another creating a characterization with new scripts. You're in limbo between impression and characterization. That is true. The voice that fans know better than their own parents is also true. But you have to make an organic character in itself. My own overriding thought was, I do hope I can do this to my own satisfaction. Well, I hope you have, right? Honestly, I think you've done a great job. And I would, I've been a big proponent of somehow the BBC, Disney, whatever, recreating lost stories of the first Doctor with full cast, acting talent. With you, I'll be happy with you being the Doctor in those. I really would. I think you really pull it off. You got your shirt done up there. We're all doing well. Lauren, you don't need to do your shirt up, darling. Whatever you need to do to make yourself feel free. If you need to, but it's fine. It's fine. We're okay with that over here. Like I don't know how I could sell it even harder, but Lauren, you want to cover an interview? I will do my best. My overriding thought was, I hope you did it to your own satisfaction. Did anything surprise you in the preparation and research? Oh, I like being surprised. If you hear the interview with Patrick Troughton, for example, it's the same voice as the Doctor. Tom Baker is the Doctor. Tom Baker. Whereas Hartnell and there are only a handful of interviews that exit voice is completely different voice. Well, that exists. Handful of interviews that exist. Has a completely different voice. It's difficult to believe it's the same person. It really is actually. He was quite. He had quite a Cockney accent underneath it. He was working from that voice. He was working from the voice up to the Doctor's. I spent time listening to his own voice, imagining how the character, how as a character actor, he will put layers in. Now that's interesting. You know what that reminds me of? When Robert De Niro was in Godfather Part 2, right? And he played young Vito Corleone, right? Was played by Marlon Brando in the first one. He found that Marlon Brando had this like thing made for inside his jaw to make him give him that like kind of look, right? Give him that kind of look, kind of gravitas kind of feel. So Robert De Niro had something similar made, but much smaller, right? And it sold it to be the same person, right? But I like that he went through the same layers of acting to get to it. I think that's a very clever, way of looking at it. A friend who's an expert on theatre history dug out some recordings of Hartnell's early mentor, Sir Frank Benson, performing Shakespeare in the 1920s. You can hear where Hartnell perhaps incorporated some the same vowels and inflect. Okay, this is too technical for me, right? But I'm with you. There's something wonderfully Victorian about the first Doctor. Well, it's essentially Adam Adamant, right? That's the idea. Let's have a quick look at what Demon Song is. Demon Song starring Stephen Noonan as Doctor. Lauren Cornelius. Tell us more, Lauren. Lauren, you can tell us more. Whatever you want to say. As Dodo. Demon Song by Bob Ayres. Who's Bob Ayres? I don't know Bob Ayres. He's new. Guest starring... bloody hell. Bhavnishna Palmer as Archie. Okay, right. I mean, they're virtually the same name, Bhavnishna Palmer as Archie. The Doctor detects a haunting melody in the streets of 2020 Camden, where the people are going missing, including Dodo. That sounds like a good story. Guest starring, and then you got the in certain incident by Nicholas Briggs. If he's writing an episode in this release, it's worth getting, right? Much as Rusty Davis is Doctor Who, Nick Briggs is Big Finish. If he's not, he should be, right? But if his name's on something, it's almost certainly pretty darn good. Guest starring Rose Baker, Dr. Leah Horan. As Britain recovers from the Second World War, an alien force threatens total destruction. Okay, I'm interested. For these adventures, you're joined by Lauren Cornelius. Tell me more. Who takes over the role of Dodo Chaplin from the late Jackie Lane. And listen, not to diss the late Jackie Lane, but Lauren, so much better. More Lauren Cornelius. Lauren is such a great spontaneous actor. And brilliant Dodo. Actually, that is true. Like, I'm lusting after, because she's gorgeous. I'm lusting after, but like she has a real genuine youthful spark that goes against the Victorianness of the Hartnell Doctor, the Edwardianist Victorianness, and you feel that paternal affection, that paternal care, that paternal love that I think Hartnell was very, very good at. Right, I think he really needed that after Susan left. Vicky, that was very much a paternal, affection. And I think Dodo less so, but it works here. There's a wonderful way in which she responds to Hartlewisms I put in, and she's constantly improvising around that. Our relationship feels so alive. That's very true. I really agree. It's so alive, and this lovely overlapping quality, a sense of spontaneity as we're doing it, leads to a great rapport. That I think is absolutely fair, right? You recently attended Chicago Adventure. Did you enjoy that? It was such a privilege to be there, spending a weekend talking to people about the same enthusiasm as I do for Doctor Who. Yeah, I think he was recommended by, what's his name? The guy who played number 6 in The Prisoner, who's really good. He's in a lot of stuff. What's his bloody name? Now I'm going to look it up. This is just annoying. Right, this is just he's in so many things in Big Finish now, and the internet's slow. It's just this is just painful. Fine. When that opens up, I will look. But he was recommended by him. He said, Stephen Noonan actually really nails the first Doctor. Where are we up to? It was almost a woman to spend time with Wendy Pabber and Fraser Hines, to be with them that time. That was probably one of the greatest pleasures of my life. Well, yes, we want to hear about your great pleasures, mate. I can't overestimate how wonderful that was. I'm sure it was, mate. Listen, there's no one. You don't have to convince us. That's actually we believe you. We believe you. How much do you enjoy the process of being in studio and in green room? Well, everyone likes to be in the green room. Nick Briggs as director is a master of professional and social. There's an atmosphere. If he's directing it, the script's going to be up to scratch. I'm so much happier now with this that I bought this release. Right, I feel so much more relaxed with this. There's a paradox that we work very hard, very fast. And there's a tremendously fun atmosphere. There's cliche that says people work. There's cliche that people say people work together when they're enjoying themselves. I can't imagine a feeling. Oh no, here we go again. Well, I hear that. Listen, I mean, it's Big Fish won't open up. Maybe if I give it another go. Come on, you can do it. I don't think I'll be bothered. Don't think I can be bothered to fight with it. But yeah, this is coming out in February. I think it's going to be I think this is a recommend. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop.